Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This is Martina and this is my latest journal, Blue Romance, which took me quite a while to make it, but I think the result is worth the effort. Before going into this journal and telling you all the details of this beauty, I would like to ask you a favor, namely, if you like what you see, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, leave a comment or subscribe. The YouTube algorithm is not always friendly to everybody, and if you do that, you can help my channel. And on the other hand, if you ring the notification bell, then you don't miss any of my new videos which are going to come in the near future. Having said that, let's talk about this one, Blue Romance. She is quite opulent. You can see laces, you can see the blue, you can see that she is really filled, and well, the inspiration for this journal came from a wonderful piece of fabric which I show you here. It's this one. It's gorgeous. It's a wonderful velvet with some brocade ornaments, and I saw it and I thought I have to do something with it. And then I also saw this old book cover, this one which you see on top here, in this really impressive blue and green tones. I love it. It's old. It's from, I think, 1890. And, well, it has, you see, the signs of aging. But I think it looks very pretty, and it perfectly matches the color of this wonderful velvet, which you are going to see in a second. So what I did is, I have added this little book on top of the, let's say, the real journal. But before we go into the inside, let me show you the outside first, because I think it's also quite nice. Well, you see, I have used quite a bit of lace, as I typically do, and I have also decorated the spine with lace, which I have ruched, and then I added this cameo. I had sewn this on this pretty fabric, and on the back side I have also made a pocket from 2 pieces of lace, also in blue. And here you have a first glimpse on this really wonderful fabric. And inside there is a bigger journaling card in, I would say exactly the same colors which you find here on the outside. So I'm really happy with the result. So let me turn it and focus you on the book cover, which I have, of course, a little bit beautified any further, because it was beautiful already, but I wanted to do some more. So I added some book corners over here and there. Then I added a little filigree, I guess it's called, and I added this rose, which I have painted in with acrylic paint in a green blue tone, and added some gold on top. So you have also a kind of 3D effect. Then, of course, as I usually do, and here are some snippets of paper, I have decorated the edges of this little book with, I think, 3 layers of lace, and well, I can't help it. Then I have also added this lace ribbon to close it. And now we are going to open it, and you can have the first look on this wonderful cover. You see it like this, and it has this color which is brown or salmon. It's hard to, or gold. It's difficult to describe. Here I've added a vintage button and some coffee dyed doily, which I have cut. And on the left-hand side, what you see here is I have, of course, also further decorated the inside of this little booklet. A bow. You can open the bow, obviously. There you find an envelope. The envelope, of course, you can open as well. And I've closed it further with some invisible Velcros. I've made some stenciling on the inside because it was plain white. And inside this little pocket, a little envelope, what you find are some pieces of paper from this old book, and you find more inside this journal. And you see, oh, I was wrong. It was not from 1890, but from 1886. And the title is Von allen Zweigen, of all branches in direct translation, and it is a compilation of some poems, some German poems, obviously. I put this back. And I think it's always a nice idea to have something original inside this book, inside this journal. Therefore, I typically, when I use an old book cover, I also use pieces of the journal, of the book as well. Then this is a flip. Of course, I have flips in this journal. And this is this really, really pretty Alphonse Mucha style picture, which you see here, which stems from a digital paper. And inside I have a journaling card, or a tag, which I have decorated with this light blue chiffon. You can open it here. You see the back side, and then you see this little pocket, which stems from a sari border, and you see a wonderful fabric, which was a gift from my friend May in Saudi Arabia. And by the way, May does wonderful journals in a amazing style, and I have also already made one video of one of the journals she gifted to me. Have a look, and I will write the link down in the video description. So if you are interested in, it's a very different, very, very different approach she takes, but it's amazing. So, having said that, let's close this and let's go to open the real journal. Before I do, I will make the bow here, because otherwise the little one might be in the way. So, what I did here is I did not attach a bow. I have attached a ribbon and a border, a trim, and I have closed it with this push buttons. Added a vintage button over here, which looks nice, and then you can open it, and you see it's big. It's big. It has about 160 pages back and front, and as usual, I have tried to make a kind of a compromise between decorated pages and plain pages. There are not too many, but of course you can leave out many of the decoration. You can leave it out if you want, and if you want to use it for writing, you can, or further decorating, so it's up to you. It's quite versatile. The dimensions, before we go into the interior, the dimensions in centimeter, it measures without delays, of course, just the pure body, 20 centimeters from here to there. Then in the width is 14 centimeters, and it has a 7 centimeter spine. And in inches, this means 8 inch times 5.5 inch, and it has a 2 3/4 inch spine. So let's go into it. And I had mentioned May already when I talked about this wonderful blue fabric. I have to mention, or I want to mention her again. Also, this fabric stems from her, and it's wonderful. It has a wonderful texture. It has this regal look, which I wanted to convey with this journal, with this blue romance journal as well. And it nicely matches also the pocket, which I have formed from some sari fabric, and the wonderful trim I have added on top. You will find many romantic, Victorian inspired journaling cards or tags in this journal. Of course, I stayed within the blue, brown, gold color scheme, but not completely. So sometimes I'd like to break this color scheme a little bit. But the predominant colors are, as I say, blue and brown and gold. 5 signatures, more than 160 pages, back and front. Many pockets, many journaling cards. Again, this is a kind of a fairy, also in this Alphonse Mucha style. Then again, here some flowers. This is a wonderful blue bird, maybe the blue bird of happiness. Can turn it. The back side I have covered with some hand-dyed paper, which is coffee dyed and also dyed with some color pigments. Then what you see here, I take this off, you see a frame, you see some romantic picture inside, and you see this paper, which I also have hand-dyed and coffee stenciled and no color stenciled. and you see the nice pattern which came out. And some sweet, really sweet blue birds journaling cards which come from the graphics fairy. So, turning this, then you have a tuck spot over here. I have used this light blue trim quite a bit in this journal because it perfectly matches the scheme. And here what I did also do on this design paper, I have added some gold coloring. Journaling card in this color scheme which I was talking about, and you are going to also find, as I mentioned, some vintage or even antique items, and this is this collector item flower pictures which are, I say it again and again, which are more than 80 years old and are in perfect shape, in perfect shape. And I've left the description for which kind of flower it is. I left it here, but of course it's in German. Stamping here, collaging over there. Trim, which I have coffee dyed. Most of the paper, by the way, are either coffee or color dyed. Some I have just left plain with some decoration on the edges, or here I have used some specific scissors and have also with distress oxide I have marked the edges. Here what you find here is a kind of I call it gate with some closure which you can open, and this one has been formed, you see it's double lace even. This one has been formed from some wallpaper, and when you touch it and you feel it, it's so nice. And when you open it, you see again one of these Alphonse Mucha motifs, very pretty. And what you see here is I have used some design paper which features some peacocks. As I say from time to time, peacocks tend to be in all of my journals, in one way or the other. This stems from this old book. So in this old book, which I have used as the front cover, there were some illustrations, so I've used some of them in this journal as well. And a very sweet girl. Another of these collector items with flower pictures. So pretty. Lace over here. And now we come to a page where you see it's quite blue and green, and you can open this one. Here I've used again some velcros. You can open this one here, and this I have stenciled, and then you have another nice picture, but this picture is also a pocket, and in this pocket you find this little card, and you can tear this little card with this piece of lace which I have sewn on. Belly band, lace over here, another really pretty design paper or digital paper I'd say, which I have used to cover up this page, and I've used some transparent fabric with some gold stars to form a pocket because I wanted to have the background being visible. And inside I have a tag and a journaling card. I did quite some stenciling in this journal because I wanted to have some pieces of interest on almost every page. Again, this decoupaging. This is some packaging paper or gift wrapping paper which I have attached here. Some stamping. This wonderful paper which I have colored. And this is a little pocket here. This is also self-colored, self-dyed paper. Then Blue Bird of Happiness. And what you see here, this is on a paper clip. This is the spine, the original spine from this old book. And I flattened it and I've glued it on some cotton, some vintage cotton. And I have also strengthened it with some cardstock. And you can use it as a bookmark or whatever. And as usual, this book is also available in my Etsy shop, so if you want to have a look. So this was the first of 5 signatures, and we come to the second one. And also the second one starts nice, I guess. You see here this, again, I mentioned it, Alphonse Mucha design, girl. I have cut it out. I have made some lace around it. On the back side I have also added some lace, and I have attached it with this paper clip, and you can use it like this, or you can use it in any other way you want, because if it's your book, you can do whatever suits you. Here I have decorated the edge of this page with double layers of lace. This one is a newer one, the blue one, and this one here is really old and vintage, and it has a wonderful feel. Pocket with 2 journaling cards. And this is coffee stenciled paper. Here I have made some, I think some nice decor with this double pocket and this Victorian, motif and some lace over here. And I've turned this into 2 pockets. And here you have 2 journaling cards, 2 smaller ones or 2 little ones. And then you have some sweet tickets, so to say, showing some birds. Also the back side has been stenciled. This pretty blue trim. This is also wallpaper. Has a nice touch. And this is the last of the pictures of this wonderful collector items, flowers, so pretty. Sitting in a belly band. Here you see a pocket, which you can, of course, you can tear something out, and this is a journaling card. What I also did is I have added some photographs from a book about Ireland, and this book is, I think, from the 1970s or so. And I have further coffee dyed these pictures because I wanted to give it an even more, let's say, antique, vintage look, and it's very, I like it. I like also the feeling. Again, stenciled, stamped. This is coffee dyed paper, which was yellow initially. And then you have a wonderful view on a meadow with a butterfly, and this has been turned into pockets, and inside these pockets there are tags. If you don't like it like this, leave them out, do whatever you wish. This is nice lace, which I have coffee dyed as well. And here there is another combination of different pockets. Peacock, I mentioned it. And this is actually really a wall drawing. So it was painted on a wall, and I made a photograph of it, and I use it for my journals from time to time. And this is a journaling card over here. So this is the explanation of these Ireland motifs. So this one is a cathedral, and the other one was a castle. So this is stamped on old book paper. Here you have another Alphonse Mucha motif, and it sits in this flip out thing. So you can use it for writing, as I said. There is room for writing, but you can also use it for decoration, like I did here. And there is another pocket over here, which I have collaged, also some old dictionary and some old doily. And inside there are 2 self-made or handmade by me tags. This one has also been acrylic painted, and this one is embossed. Both are embossed. Yeah, another pocket and another journaling card. This time it's more in pink and gold. And another very romantic picture and another journaling card over here. So we come to number 3, Alphonse Mucha, as I mentioned. And here I have added this wonderful trim, which I just have been gifted just recently, and it perfectly matches here the ornament over there. And it also had exactly, or almost exactly, the right length. So everything was perfect. It was meant to be here. On the back side there is a lace pocket, and inside there is a big journaling card. And as usual, the journaling cards and the tags, most of them have been sewn by me around with and backed with some other paper. Coffee stenciled, some ruffles. This is another decoupage exercise, and I've added also some blue glitter. Here we come to an envelope which I have clipped, but I've also attached it with some Velcro. And inside there is a little fairy, which I have sewn, as you can see, with blue thread in order to stay in the color scheme. So you can add it here. And I have left this soft piece of the Velcro here, so if you don't want it like this, you can it still doesn't harm the paper on the opposite side. So this is also coffee dyed lace. This is this light blue lace which I mentioned. And here there is another journaling card which I have backed with some other paper and added another one on top. Some pretty lace over here. Paper bag, coffee and color stenciled. And inside you find again this lady and a little journaling card in blue and gold to stay in tune with the color scheme. Some tulle waffle, which is avocado dyed. This here stems from a vintage sari, and I love the border so much. It's so pretty, and it perfectly matches this pink over here and breaks the color scheme a little bit. Stenciled over there, coffee dyed paper, and some special paper in the middle in blue and green. Stenciled over here, another pocket, it frays because we have this sari, and inside this pocket there is another journaling card. Well, there are many ephemera elements in there, and of course this is part of the reason why she got an alligator mouth, but of course it's up to you how you want to treat it. This is blue and pink in tune with the opposite side, and here I have added a vintage rose card. It's not vintage, but the motif is vintage. This is the back side of this paper bag. You see the coffee stenciling, and inside another fairy, Mucha fairy, let's call it like that, and an embossed tag, which I have also embossed with some embossing powder. We stay in the Mucha theme, and you see this lady over here. You can flip it, and then you see I have done some stenciling over there. And this is another of the illustrations which stem from the old book. And this apparently is a young girl which is about to get married, I assume. I attached it with some special paper over here, lace on the other side, decoration. This is a vellum pocket. And in this vellum pocket there is a little journaling card with two birds. And I would like to get it back, yes. Stenciling. You see this is also very pretty. This is craft paper, and it has this Victorian elements there. And here you see another of these inserts, and here I have added this one with some blue tulle, which also frays apparently. So, and now we are already at number 4, and number 4 starts with some really pretty design paper, or digital paper I'd say, and I've attached and I've decorated it further with, because it deserves it, with gold and blue trims. On the inside there is another transparent pocket, and inside there is a piece of design paper. Again you see a blue bird of happiness. This one has been decorated with some blue ruffles. There is another journaling card which is loose, so I will see how I attach it somehow. This is another of the paper which I have colored with coffee and pigments, and it's always interesting what comes out. Vellum, again with Victorian motifs. Another journaling card over here, sitting in this nice pocket with this wonderful blue trim. This is just a piece of this coffee stenciled paper which I have attached like this, so you can use it for whatever. And what I did here is I tried it for the first time. I think it turned out quite nice. I have used these patches of fabric to form two pockets, and inside these pockets there are these little bluebirds, and this is sewn on, and on the back side it looks like this. And on the opposite side another pocket with another journaling card, and the edge has been decorated. So now we come to two pages from this old book, and it's about first love, and it's about praise for women, praise of women. Stamping over here. This one, I don't know whether you can recognize it, but if I explain, probably you can. This is a curtain. This is the picture of a curtain, and I cut it like this, and then I have attached from the back side, I have attached this fabric because I thought it looks really like a window, and inside there is another journaling card. And from the back side, I have covered it with vellum in this, in a color scheme which matches the curtain from the other side. And on this smaller piece of paper, I have sewn on this really, really pretty lace which I had been gifted recently, and where I only have this small piece, so it looks so nice. And on the back side, design paper in blue, longer journaling card, and a tag which I have created by stamping and embossing and color dyeing and whatsoever. Stenciled. Another mucha design, another fairy sitting in this nice paper pocket. This is also decoupaged. This is another of these really pretty collector items. This is the colored paper, and this is a paper doily which I have folded, decorated with some Victorian motif and some lace, and turned into a double pocket. There you have a butterfly, and there you have a kind of a pretty girl. And you have to be careful by putting it back. Oh, it slides quite nicely, and this one slides also quite nicely. And it has been glued on the back side of this blue bird of happiness. We are already, I would say, at the last signature. And the last signature I have decorated with this really precious trim. So I've used only one piece of trim because I think it deserves to stand out. And on the opposite side there is a fabric pocket, and in this fabric pocket there is an envelope, and in this envelope there is another butterfly, and it has exactly the colors which I'd love to use in this journal. Some special paper, some stenciling again, stamping on the back side, decorated page, sewn, fancy sewing, a tab. This is another fairy or another mucha design. Here you have a flip, and the flip on the back side has been covered with vellum, and inside there are some tiny journaling cards, you see, like this. Very tiny. again from this Ireland book, two photographs, coffee dyed paper, coffee stenciled and color stenciled paper, another Cupido, another very romantic motif over here, and this one is sari silk, which is ruffled and phrase, of course. Stamping over there, stamping also here lightly. Another butterfly, which I have embossed and decoupaged, and inside there is a little journaling card. You can flip this out like this, then you have a scenery of a, probably an English town, an English city, and inside there is one of my self-created tags, which is made from decoupaging and embossing and glittering, and I have also put on acrylic paint in order to make it resistant. There is another pocket over here, and you see this image. This is a quite famous image, I guess. Forgotten the name. Stamping on old book paper. Stamping over here. This is a German stamp, an original, and I took it because it has this wonderful blue. And now we are at the last pocket, or almost the last pocket, and there you see two journaling cards, a bigger one and another of this really pretty Victorian motifs. And have a look on this absolutely stunning fabric which I have used for this journal, for the inside of the journal. And when you look careful or closely, then you can see I have also covered the edges of the, it's not a cereal box, but it was a box, I think. I don't know what it was in there. Cantucci, I guess. I have covered it with washi tape, which I have glued on with some all-purpose glue, in order not to have the edges visible in black, or in white. So very, very carefully designed. And now I see that this has been somehow knicked. So I have to work on it. Put it back here. Doesn't want to. So I think I have to redo this one because I think it's a little bit too light, or I put in another one and put this aside. So this is the journal. This is Blue Romance. If you like it, have a look in my Etsy shop. It's waiting for you, and I wish you a very nice day. I wish you a very nice weekend, upcoming weekend, and I hope to see you soon. This was Martina. Bye-bye.